Good, welcome everybody, my name is Fox Alpez, and welcome to the game that I've been trying to record for darn near 2 weeks now. And even just in this session, I've been sat here trying to figure out how to get this thing to record for about an hour. So here we are, the game that I tried to play when it came out, and it didn't work, just couldn't do it. And then I tried to record a load of episodes to prepare for me going away for a week, and obviously none of those were working, so I uploaded the one, and then I had to go. I didn't have time to edit the second one, which has been uploaded as of the recording of this video. It was all a big mess. I was away from all my setup because I was preparing to move house. But here we are now, and we should be back on track with the schedule, in theory. I'm not sure how busy I'll be in the coming few weeks, but we'll find out. I'm going to try to stick to it. But here we are, the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. The almost a sequel, like it's the original game, but with more added into it. So they've said that in the original game there was 19 endings, and there are 39 in this game. So they've added more than was in the whole original game. But yeah, this game took the internet by storm when it originally came out. I think 2013 was when it started. And I've seen a few people uploading it recently, which I'm I'm glad and annoyed about, because I was correct to assume that this game would become popular again, but I was also, I am also late to the party by not being able to record it for so long. It was just a bad time, but we figured it out now, and let's get into it. If you don't know what this game is, prepare to be amazed. One of the most cleverly written and funniest games I know of. The end is never, the end is never, the end is never, the end is loading.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-winning, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So you can probably already tell why I needed the audio for this game. Oh my god, that sensitivity is so low. I forgot about that. Camera sensitivity, I think I had on I think I just put it way up to max before. Much better. Because the narrator is the main character of this game. It's the narrator's dialogue that is so funny, it's the narrator's dialogue that you interact with. And I had no dialogue in my initial recording. I'd been recording for 2 hours, responding to the narrator, and you couldn't hear the narrator.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, so we'll get to the key concept of the game in just a moment. I need that mug. Let's have a look. I find these other offices so creepy to look into. Like, it is a creepy premise. That everyone just vanishes.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
And here is the crux of the game. The narrator will tell you what to do, and you can choose to ignore him. Or you can choose to go against him. You can follow his path blindly, or you can maybe go in the other way.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
What gets me is that, like, every room is an absolute state. So, like, if everyone has vanished,
Yes, truly a room worth admiring.
they did it in a hurry.
It would have been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Drinking it all in, haha. Yeah, here's the meeting room.
Really worth it being here in the room.
Yep.
A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these
Fuel.
chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Now, yeah, we'll get back to business.
Through the maintenance section, walk straight ahead to the opposite door.
Walk straight ahead, eh? Yeah, we'll get back on track. So, I love this room. The things on the boards are so funny. I'll kind of frame myself in front of them, just so people can pause and read them. I want to read them myself, but I know how long each of these endings take, and we don't really have the time to sit and look at every single... Because that's the mistake I made when I first recorded this. Yeah, when I first recorded it, I stopped and looked and read every single poster, because it's been so long since I played the game that I just wanted to see it all. So yeah, I was recording for way too long per episode, and right, I'm gonna stop here. I was recording for way too long per episode, and it just took ages to get any of the endings done. So I'm gonna try not to look at everything. I'm gonna try and control my ADHD. I don't actually have ADHD, or at least I haven't been diagnosed. But I would just stop every single sentence halfway through, because I'd get distracted by something like the broom closet. Also, the doors are huge. Either that or Stanley's really small. But yeah, I'm going to try and control myself. I love the broom closet.
Into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around.
There's a broom. There is something. There's duct tape. There's cable. Oh, is that... I mean, it looks like rope, but...
Choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
Staple gun.
To still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet.
Yep.
He wasn't even doing anything.
I'm looking at things.
Something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way.
If I press the interact button, it plays key tapping sounds.
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yep.
Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
It's just a nice room, isn't it? It's just very...
There's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. It didn't even occur to me, because literally, this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
I mean, yeah, there is nothing to do in here, but there is dialogue.
This is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, Did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite. I hope your friends find this concerning.
They do.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid.
Alright.
Probably only got
No need to get personal.
family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money.
I-
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Do you get a job with money? I mean, I suppose if you pay, you win, but I suppose that defeats the point of having a job.
I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
Only on the inside.
Broom closet exploded a bit, and we're just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system, and you collapsed in front of your screen.
Did the audio go weird there? Sounded like he had to re-record that, like those few words.
Your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey
I've
to
got headphones on. You can, like, it won't help.
It's indicative of the
Also, as well, shows that the original game wasn't actually on consoles because he says computer. I suppose they're all computers really. Everything's a computer these days. Calculator's a computer.
They understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. Alright, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Yeah, and I think that's the end of the broom closet, to be honest.
Second player, it's good to have you on board.
Yep, here I am.
You can't do any worse than the person who came before you. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm gonna go down. Because when I recorded these, I obviously made choices. And I want to make different choices to what I made before. Hi, Louise? I don't know what that says, and I can't be bothered straining my eyes to read it.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why
1, 2, B4.
risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then
I've seen that mug everywhere. I didn't see that mug the first time I played, and it's everywhere now.
maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single
It's the same room.
for no reason at all. None of it made any
Oh, that's the car again.
sense.
Good.
And as Stanley
Wait.
pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
I can't.
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Wait, did the lights just turn off
And for
there?
that
Hold on,
matter,
wait.
these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply
Oh, maybe I'm just imagining things.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real.
Coffee note.
At last, he came to the
Coffee
conclusion
beans.
that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just
Coffee doesn't come from nuts. That's silly.
dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself...
This room doesn't. The room's not actually like loop. Oh, I'm floating.
He imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so
Whee!
much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered.
Still see the stars. Oh,
One he
they're
was
gone.
amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
It's called a consciousness.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley.
That's just the brain giving itself a name.
I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself?
Haha.
That if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility.
Right, I thought I could have got myself stuck.
Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
Yeah, it's a bit surprising.
He knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment
I mean,
ago? How else would the
I don't really
voice
have much
explain
else to
all
do
that?
other than
This
the
voice
lights
was
do
a
turn
part
off
of
for that one.
himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove
Can
that
I,
he
like-
was in control. That this was a dream. So he closed his eyes.
No.
again,
Okay.
and invited himself
No.
to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin.
Ah.
The press of the mattress on his back. The fresh air of a world outside this one.
I'm trying to still walk through the things, but I don't know where I am.
I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal.
Sorry for being so sniffly. It's really dusty in this room.
You define. I am okay.
Oh, where am I? Oh, sorry, just moving my chair. My leg's going dead.
Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real.
Oh.
Please, just someone.
Starting to
tell
see
me
red.
I'm real.
Getting mad.
I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh. Oh.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
Mariella's an interesting name.
Dressed, gathered her belongings.
Does anyone know a Mariella?
did some work.
Leave a comment if you know someone called Mariella.
The walk was interrupted
And Marie doesn't count.
by a man who had stumbled through
Unless
town talking
they're
to
Marie that is actually short for Mariella.
dead on the sidewalk.
Do you even know any other characters that are called Mariella?
Call for an ambulance.
Any real people? Don't obviously say their full name.
Strange man.
But, I mean,
Was obviously crazy.
obviously I know their name's Mariella, but, like,
Everyone knows what crazy people are.
just, it doesn't matter. If you know any characters outside of this called Mariella, leave a comment.
I am
Say what they're from.
in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man.
Also, yeah, we just straight up died in our first,
Then she remembered the meeting she
on our first ending of this episode.
important people
We just fully just keeled over and died.
career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this. So
You don't die in every ending.
but she stood
Just this,
there,
well,
staring
it's not
down
just this one. There's a couple of endings where you die. But, yeah, that's us dying. You can tell when it's a different ending because it'll say, like, the end is never loading. I think it says something else. Because sometimes it makes you think that it's ended when it's just resetting. I'll see if I can get one of those endings at some point. So here we are, back in the office. New ending. We've still got a couple of minutes. I'm trying to think if there's any quick endings.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Actually, I think I do know another one where you die, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just going to erase that. Because the opening dialogue is always the same, so...
To the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge.
Yeah, let's
first.
just race through. Sprint through.
Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
It's an ominous chair. Facing right in the doorway.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Can't even go back in there. Wait, is that another door? Oh no, it's a window. I was gonna say, like, would you be able to go through those doors? But yeah, yeah, so we can get on this lift, but there is a little hint for two other endings here, because obviously the lift will take you up there, where there's like a little indentation. But right here, there is a... there is a hints as to how to get to other endings. There is also an open door right there. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion. Will cause death. So you can jump straight down there, or you can jump onto the rail for 2 other endings. I am just going to jump straight off, because I think that one's quite a long ending. And we don't have time.
I realize that investing in your trust in someone else can be difficult.
Bye!
The fact is, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
Yeah.
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Yeah, that's me, Powerful Stanley. That's what they call me on the streets, Powerful Stanley. I'm so glad to finally be properly recording this game. And that also means I can record console games, any other console game that you want me to play. I'll gladly do so. I was actually thinking about, because I've been playing Hollow Knight recently. I was to say this last thing, and then we're going to have to end this episode. I've been playing Hollow Knight recently, and I'm trying to platinum it, but that involves completing the Pantheon of Hallownest, and I was considering actually recording attempts at the Pantheon of Hallownest, or even just recording, like, because obviously the PlayStation you can record the previous hour. I could record the successful attempt and then commentate over it, because obviously I won't know. I've spent 40 hours in Godhome, which is the place where the Pantheons are. So nearly 50% of my entire time on Hollow Knight has been spent just in the Pantheons, just trying to get these few trophies. So if that seems like something you'd be interested in, then leave a comment, let me know. I might just do it anyway, to be honest, because this is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in any game, and I would like to show off a successful run. Obviously it'll be a long video, and I think it's like 45 minutes or something like that to finish the full Pantheon, so it would be a bit of a slog. And to be honest, I wouldn't really expect people to watch it, but it would just be there for my own record. But anyway, with that, I will have to end this episode here. Thank you everybody so much for watching. If you liked it, leave a like. It helps me out a lot. If you like the Stanley Parable, if you want to see more of the Stanley Parable, leave a like for that as well. Leave a comment, tell me what you thought. If you see a path that you want me to go down, that I walk past or that I don't really seem to give much attention to, then leave a comment, let me know. And yeah, subscribe if you'd like to see more Stanley Parable. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.